welcome to our vlog.
Today we're in Copenhagen.
And we're gonna talk about national identity and how we perceive it.
Our first location is Nyhavn.
So New Harbor or Nyhavn is one of the most famous tourist sites here in Copenhagen. Every summer it is completely filled up with tourists drinking way too expensive beer and just sitting by the docks. But right now it's November and we're preparing for Christmas already. So this is gonna be filled with a lot of Christmas booths and yes, people drinking gløgg. We are now at Amalienborg because we are a constitutional monarchy
And a big part of our population are royalists.
Denmark has for almost all of its history been a monarchy. Therefore, it has always been a major part of the Danish population's identity and is something we see in buildings still till this day. And today we are just a constitutional monarchy, but we used to be an absolute monarchy.
Okay, so over here you have the Queen's residence. So when she's home, the flag is up. So currently she is at the palace. Maybe we should go take a visit. And we also have a museum over here where you can see a lot about the royal history and the history of the palace. And over here, that's where they welcome when they have big state visits or big receptions. And we also have the Crown Princess Frederik and Crown Princess Mary who live over here. And every year on the Queen's birthday in April, she enters out on the balcony and this whole place is filled up with Danish people standing with Danish flags, celebrating the Queen and saying happy birthday. So this is a major tradition for many Danish people and one of the most important squares in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
As we walked away from Amalienborg, we could clearly see the traces of this absolute monarchy in the buildings such as the Marble Church, and we continued down Strøget to find yet another building that was built by a king.
So we're now at the Round Tower of Wellington, and this was built by King Christian IV, and he was one of the kings that built most of Copenhagen. So this is a very important building in Copenhagen.
As we continued our journey, we had to make a quick stop for something that is very Danish, and that is, of course, to hygge.
Cakes, maybe not so Danish cakes, but we got cheesecake croissant and some delicious tea, and it's cozy in here. You got blankets, and yeah,
And it's also very Danish to have different types of cakes because we're a multicultural society.
Yes.
Okay, so we are now at our last stop, and it's Christiansborg Palace, and that's where the parliament sits and have their daily routines. And it's also where the Prime Minister has her office. And we're gonna go because it's freaking cold.
This is national identity for us because Denmark is very proud of its democracy, and of course, well, as opposed to many other countries, we're a quite democratic country and we value our democratic process and how everyone in the parliament is elected freely and fairly. So this is a symbol of the greatness of Denmark and the democracy and one of the core values of being a Danish person.
Okay, so Christiansborg also once was the home of the king, and you can see that in this kind of monument of Frederik III. And he used to live here, and this monument kind of still use or like it represents our constitutional monarchy that is also a very, very crucial part of the Danish identity for many Danes. And it kind of shows the relationship that we have with our monarch, and that we have a calm relationship to the past and to the monarchs that once ruled Denmark.
So we're now at the City Hall of Rådhuspladsen, and this is usually where we welcome back our sports teams, even if they've won silver. And this is a very proud tradition because sport is something that actually combines like all the different Danish people we have living in Copenhagen and across, especially Sjælland. And we're very proud of our sports teams.
As we walk down Seoul, we asked some people about how they view Danish identity and how they think Danes perceive themselves.
Så vi har været lidt rundt i København, og så har vi skulle undersøge, hvilke ting i København, som vi kunne forbinde med dansk identitet. Og vi har jo kigget på Christiansborg og omkring demokrati, og vi har været ved Rundetårn og sådan historiske ting om Nyhavn. Men er der nogle sådan bestemte ting, som I vil sige er sådan meget dansk og forbundet med sådan jeres danske identitet? Nogle symboler eller...
Altså jeg synes jo Tivoli,
Tivoli?
men mere før end det er i dag.
Mere før? Hvordan kan det være?
Fordi der er alt for meget ikke, men altså i gamle dage, som man siger i min alder, der var det hyggeligt.
Ja.
Så det vil jeg sige Tivoli.
Jeg synes også, at nu som Kongens Have,
Ja. Ja.
det er også en dansk fortid. Fordi man har garden lige på den anden side, jeg kan stå og kigge på, og Rosenborg. Så det er da noget af det, der ikke endnu er blevet raderet ud. Men tænker på strøget her, så er det der ikke meget dansk tilbage her. Jo.
Det vil jeg ikke sige. Men så synes jeg også, det kongelige teater. Det er også...
Er det gamle i hvert fald?
Ja, det gamle, ikke?
Ja. Så de ting, der er ældre datoer, har meget
det der er
historie, det er det, der er...
Hvad er det, I føler, der er blevet taget sådan, hvis man kan sige, taget sådan lidt væk fra den danske identitet?
Altså, jeg synes, det blev for koldt. Det blev for... Hvad hedder sådan noget?
Firkantet.
Straight eller... Ja. Det er ikke, altså, det synes jeg. Altså, jeg elsker familie.
Ja.
Derfor, ikke? Så er der nogen, der elsker det andet.
Ja, det er det.
Men altså, jeg synes også, at vores Amalienborg derude, og selvfølgelig den lille havfru. Men det er nok mere turister, der synes det.
Det er rigtigt.
Men det er sådan en stor træk, det er vi synes, ikke? Så...
Perfect. Okay, so you've come to Denmark and you've maybe learned a bit about the culture and so on. Do you have any specific things that you have kind of noticed about Danish identity or the Danes?
Well, you drink a lot.
Drink a lot. Yeah. Okay,
I've been really enjoying. What did you have in mind?
I think maybe about like some characteristics, like about the Dane and how they see themselves or how they want to be
Like in
towards others.
sort of personalities?
Yeah.
Well, honestly, pretty much everyone that I've met has been very polite and kind of helpful.
Yeah.
Even doing this for a job where you have to sort of stop dozens of people in the street, no one's actually been sort of like heckling or like yelling at you, which you kind of expect from some. Everyone's actually been really nice even if they're not interested. So yeah, I've actually had a really positive opinion of Denmark so far.
That's great. That's great. Okay. Do you have other questions?
No, I think that was it.
National identity. If you look it up online, you would probably get a definition pretty close to this one. A person's identity or sense of belonging to one nation. However, national identity is so difficult to describe since it includes both culture, language, history and traditions. But we all have some sense of national identity. This can change over your life if you choose to have another country, if you choose to move to another country. For example, as you grow older, you have different values than previously on, and therefore you see your national identity in another way.
We might not be as big and as grand as our friends across the sea, the United States, but we still have many different aspects that contribute to our national identity. We might not be the land of the free, but we're a country that supports democracy and other values like that. And this is although we still have a monarch since we have made it work as a constitutional monarchy. We're also a country that loves and preserves this term called hygge. We always love to be in each other's company and be open and welcoming towards each other. And that is what we love about our Danish identity and what we will preserve and continue to accept as our national identity.